Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Total Hockey Now here on the Total Hockey Now YouTube channel. My voice is back this week. Last week, as Chris experienced, it was in and out. Jared also on Monday on Rip and Riff, same thing, but my voice is back. I can actually talk for long stretches. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, but my line mates, as always, at Ant Rivera 86, at Fuzzy Chris 91. Back to our usual Thursday routine here. We'll talk some fantasy content in the first half hour. And 30 minutes away from running the board on a 12-game night, giving picks from, between the three of us, usually there's only one or two games that we don't give a pick away. So we'll see how that goes. Plenty to get to before then. Also, I'm going to my first hockey game of the season. I know Ant got his out of the way a few weeks ago. I'll be going to Sharks Senators on Saturday, 4 o'clock Pacific puck drop, because Hockey Night in Canada wants that in their early slate. It'll be fun to go to that game. They're giving away like K-pop themed Sharks posters. We'll find out. Looking forward to that. Big time
playoff preview coming up with the Sharks and Senators, right?
The way they're playing right now.
There will be no side of defense in that game. Just nothing. Bet the over. That's it.
Well, that's good. That's definitely good for anyone who has Celebrini, Will Smith, myself. I got Shane Pinto, so that points are going to be scored.
Here's what I don't like. Askarov's going tonight against the Kings, and then the Sharks have a back-to-back Ottawa Saturday, and then Boston on Sunday. I have a feeling I'm going to get Nedeljkovic on Saturday, but we'll see. Who do we got checking in the chat here? Our buddy Marek, as always. It doesn't feel right if Marek's not here. Like, if I don't see Marek check in by like the first few minutes, I get worried. We'll see. Let's get right to it here. It's not a major headline, but one of the things I did want to mention is Matthew Schaefer has begun the protocol to become eligible for the Canadian Olympic team, and I can speak for all Americans when I say that's just great. Canada's going to have him roaming the blue line the way he's playing now. He may not even make the act, but if he keeps playing this way, Chris, is there somebody he's bumping from that spot? Like.
Listen, the good news is he peed at a cup, so that's the first step into getting on the 90 on the extended list, which is basically 90 players that Hockey Canada can invite to their process, and he has forced Hockey Canada to at least acknowledge that he is him. He has been fun to watch. His metrics all over are good. Not only is he fun to watch offensively, but defensively too. He's pretty good. And to me, I feel like there are spots on the blue line that are up for grabs. With Drew Doughty being hurt, Thomas Harley is hurt as well. There are some spots. Whether he plays or not is neither here nor there. But Canada can bring 8 defensemen to Italy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having him be the 8th man there. If anything, he gets to go to Italy. I don't know what the drinking age is in Italy, but I mean, maybe
they're giving kids wine at what, like 9-10 years old over there. So I don't.
Yeah, like they seem pretty relaxed there. So at least you could get some good, some good red wine. But this is a testament to him. He is a kid. He is missing no swag in his game. It's only good news. That's it. It's only good news.
Yeah,
I think we talked about this before. I think we talked about this before. You mentioned the swag. I mean, ever since that interview he had with Henrik Lundqvist on, what was it, NHL on TNT or whatever it was, I was like, man, this kid is prime and ready. I mean, he's got 7 goals already, 8 assists, 15 points. He has been everything and more that the Islanders could have asked for, and he could provide the same spark for Team Canada. So, Chris, I mean, you might have another winner here.
Listen, winners win, right? As somebody, as a representative of the 4 nations country that won, I mean, winners win. So
we're going to go back to that. And this is a bold proclamation I'm going to make, is Matthew Schaefer is going to become the most popular player in the New York metro area since Henrik Lundqvist. He's got the game. He's got the swagger. I'm not going to say he's becoming a household name in the New York market. That's tough for any hockey player to do, short of like a Martin Brodeur, Henrik Lundqvist, Mike Richter, Mark Messier, those kinds of guys. But he's right. He's on the right trajectory for it. Now,
we might have to tune into games for the Islanders.
It's happening. All right, listen. We'll foreshadow. We're going to talk about the other thing we're going to do later is our Nifty under 50, which is players that are under 50% owned in Yahoo leagues that are worth a look. And one of my forward recommendation is going to come from the Islanders. So we'll talk a little bit more about them later. They're also playing the Red Wings tonight. So we'll get into that. I know the guys here. I know Chris was like, wanting to get the popcorn out for the whole JT Miller thing. And like in my younger days, maybe I would have gone like bizarre on here, but I told him it was more of like a snack bar kind of rant versus like a popcorn kind of rant. And, you got Sean Avery with the old school pointer pointing out all the things he's doing wrong. And I know sometimes people think Avery's a clown, but like, tell me anything he said that was wrong in that breakdown. It's just, listen, you bring this guy in to be the captain, because he's supposed to be one of these, like, let's go get him, rah, rah. Like, he's supposed to be like a vocal and guy that produces on the ice. This was a guy that in fantasy hockey dress, which I know doesn't exactly translate on the ice, but 34 ADP for fantasy means you're supposed to be a consistent producer. 4 goals and 5 assists in 21 games played. That is not cutting it for a guy that's supposed to be a relied upon presence in your top 6. And I know it's hindsight, but like there was rumblings that Trocheck should have been the captain. And it's just, that piss poor back check reminded me. Remember the Alex Ovechkin video game controller died back when he was playing against the Rangers in the playoffs? It reminded me exactly of that. And I'm sorry, you got a C on your sweater. You got to skate. You're the one guy on the team that cannot be giving up on plays, that cannot be having that piss poor body language on the ice. Like, I'm sorry. It needs to be better from him. And you look at the whole Elias Pettersson and JT Miller thing in hindsight. Elias Pettersson's just fine. I hear no problems in the Canucks locker room right now, at least related to Pettersson. So,
yeah, you talk about Trocheck. Look, Artemi Panarin, he's going to be a free agent. He could have been named captain. He's leading the team with 19 points. Adam Fox, wasn't he captain once before? Or was he just I
think he's just been an A. But look at how, here's evidence. Look how miserable. And I said this to you in the group chat. You're the captain of the New York Rangers. And I'm sorry, yes, those jerseys aren't great. And it kind of looks like, that picture that when you force your 4-year-old kid to dress up and he hates getting dressed up and he takes the picture just to do it. That's what that looks like right there. Panarin doesn't look any happier. And then in this one too, dude, do you not want to be here? You didn't have to come to New York.
Yeah.
You didn't have to come here.
First off, with the jersey, this is the jersey you'd get, it's the majestic style type jersey, the one down from the, authentic style there. But yeah, when it comes to JT Miller, and I drafted him number 1 overall last season, and my team took a dip for the worst. He took time off for personal reasons. Now, I assume that there has to be something going around mentally with this guy because he's not hurt. He's just not,
as far as we know.
As far as we know, and he's just, you talk about that play. He's just not in the game right now, and you can't have that from who was supposed to be your captain and supposed to be a leader of the team. We know that the Rangers weren't going to be the best team out there, but this guy's got to lead by example. And he's not doing it. And it's not only hurting himself, but the team as well. And this is probably part of the reason why Vancouver traded him. There's a reason why Vancouver got rid of one of their best players. And it's not to do with, his play, but his overall attitude. And now it's affecting his play on the Rangers.
Now, I'm going to pin everything on Miller because, Mike Sullivan, are we a good coach, or were you just riding Crosby, Malkin, Letang's coattails there in Pittsburgh? Because we're kind of getting past the point of okay, new coach, transitional time, all that. There is no difference in pretty much the product on the ice this year, except with the addition of Gavrikov on the blue line, helping in that regard. It's still got the same shitty vibes that was under the end of the Peter Laviolette era. It seems like it's gonna be a lesser version of it last year. It's not gonna be as drastic of a version where they just go into a tank for 2 months. Because somehow the Rangers are 9-2-1 on the road. So something's got to be going on in New York, because when they get out on the road, they're all of a sudden a really good hockey team. So
new coach, same vibe. Why? Same group of players. The only 2 that they got rid of was Jacob Trouba and Chris Kreider. And I'm pretty sure that they weren't the problems on that team. Trouba didn't want to get traded, right? He wanted to stay. Kreider probably could have been a lifetime Ranger himself. And then you got the rest of the crew there that hasn't delivered. And here we are again with our what is now third or fourth coach. So, I don't know how much to pin on Mike Sullivan. If they get out to a start with any other coach, the same thing is happening. I mean, like at some point, the players have to take accountability here.
Listen, I'm not crying for the New York Rangers in any way, shape, or form here. This is what they deserve. I mean, it's no other way around it. Two things here. One, there were people thinking you should trade Elias Pettersson. This is a reminder that you don't trade young talent, right? You find a cancer and you get rid of it. That's how we do it in life, right? You don't have to throw away the whole apple when it's got a little brown spot. You just cut out the brown spot. We just now know that it's JT Miller. He's the brown spot on the apple. But you did bring up a point.
New York being the big apple, by the way.
I didn't even draw it up like that, but like I'm good like that now. That's how locked in I am as the contrast to JT Miller, the controller dying. You can't do that, JT. Like Ovi can't do it, sure, but he's got 900 plus goals behind him. Ovechkin's not out there for his defense, right? JT Miller is a two-way player. Until JT Miller starts scoring 900 goals, then I'll let his controller disconnect and have his attitude, right? But it's just, man, something's wrong with the Rangers, and I agree with that. I think it's the players. Management can do whatever they want, but that core group it speaks that they have a lot of success when they leave New York. Once the bright lights are off and once they go get lost wherever they're playing, I just feel like maybe they're a little bit more relaxed. They're a little bit at ease. They don't have to deal with the stuff that's coming with them, and they play better.
And that's another
Kreider has to be happy being in Anaheim right now.
Oh, yeah. But we'll talk about them later. They got the Senators at home tonight. Him and Trouba probably, like, every time the Rangers play, they probably send a text to each other like, we're not in that dumpster fire right now. But, yeah, and that's the other thing, too. Like, last year, the big blame was on how Drury handled things, the exits of Trouba and stuff like that, and it just really put a bad taste in the locker room. What's the excuse this year? Is something else going on behind the scenes that we're going to get a story about in a month or two? And then we'll find out, this was going on at the time. Like, back when the Coyotes all of a sudden went on a miserable losing streak, we found out, they found out that they were moving to Utah right around that time. Now it makes sense. Maybe something like that comes out, but are they still butthurt from last year? Because if you are, get over it. Like, I don't know what the problem is. And I don't want to spend too much more time on this because we'll see. Again, it's still November, 20th? Still a lot of season left. They're still playing. They're not going to play this great on the road, but they've built them. The lack of ability to win at home, they've built up that cushion to a degree at home where they're still kind of hovering around 500, and it's not. It hasn't bottomed out yet, but it's heading that direction now. Last week, about a week ago, Jack Hughes, freak hand injury. Eetu Luostarinen, freak barbecue injury. I tweeted this out earlier this week. I predict that there's going to be a wishbone-related puncture, cut, something that somebody's going to be day-to-day after Thursday at some team dinner. It's like the way it's happening. But, and I again, don't want to spend too much time, but as a Devils fan, Jack Hughes being hurt again, and not just like, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks and we'll have him back by Christmas. Like, no, he's going to be out minimum 6 weeks, and that's if he has full function and mobility in that hand again at 6 weeks, could be 8. I don't want to label the guy injury prone, but like he sure is unlucky.
Yeah, look, I don't even know if I'll ever see him play one full season. Like he just,
Mark Stone did it.
Yeah, I know that this has been like a freak injury, but like, come on, man. And now people are talking about that there was like dead bodies before they made the Prudential Center. Everyone's trying to get through all the things that have happened to have this happen to Jack Hughes and the Devils here. He leads the team with 20 points. This team continues to thrive despite all the injuries, but now with this Jack Hughes injury, and I mentioned it before, that has been the death nail in the seasons that they have gone awry and have had bad seasons. So I am a little concerned here, especially with how long he is missing. I know Evgeny Dadonov came back to try to help out some of these lines here. The biggest problem that the Devils have right now is what is supposed to be, and he just signed a contract, their goaltender, their number one goaltender, having an .864 save percentage in Jacob Markstrom. That's a problem the Devils need to fix. And if they don't have Jack Hughes to help with the scoring, it's going to be big-time problems for the Devils. Thankfully, they got off to the start they did, but there is room for concern here.
You know what else is concerning? Glass cups around Jack Hughes. Clearly, we got to get him a sippy cup. We got to bubble wrap him or get the plastic knives out, get the plastic forks out. It's just like you can't draw it up any
No
different.
cans. You don't want him getting cut.
No,
Like if it goes,
nothing.
Like you
Nothing.
can't. No.
Keep him out of the kitchen. Hire somebody to cook every meal. Literally spoon feed it to you. I don't want him to choke on something. The Luosterainen one, though, the first thing I thought of was that episode of Michael Scott where he burns his foot on the George Foreman grill. I was like, is that what happened to Lusta? Like, did he have like a bender and then accidentally try to get up and put his foot on a barbecue? Like, it sounds like it was a pretty bad burn. And I'm like, man, it's not even Thanksgiving. It's not 4th of July yet. Like, what's happening here? Bubble wrap these players, man. Don't let them go anywhere.
I think the Paul Maurice quote, like the little snippet he said is best when he was talking about when he might return is, we don't have a lot of experience with this. There you go. That sums it up, right?
But no, listen, just the Jack Hughes one is just that one hurts. That one stings. So.
Also, if you needed another reason to play for the Florida Panthers, you're barbecuing in mid-November. There's another reason.
There you go.
True. It's true.
Look, Jack Hughes was made of glass, and now he gets hurt by glass. So, I mean.
And then Cody Glass was out. Unrelated to glass injuries.
You can't make it up.
Yeah, it's late, but I still do it. It was good.
I
forgot I had that, and then I remember.
It works.
It works. Nonetheless, we're about 12 minutes away from doing our Run the Board 12 game preview. We go through and see if we have any picks to do or not. But we're going to do something here called the Nifty Under 50. We each brought a forward and a defenseman that is owned in under 50% of Yahoo leagues as somebody you should consider adding. I'm going to go first, and if you looked at the title photo for this episode, you know the two I'm going to give away here. First up is Emil Heineman, 42% ownership, 9 goals, 5 assists, 67 hits. He's earned his way into the top 6 with the Islanders. I don't see him losing that spot. He's getting a fair amount of time on the ice. He's on the top power play. You know, I know there's not a lot of nationally televised Islander games, and they're not always the most exciting team to watch. So maybe he's a little under the radar. But yeah, I feel like if he's not picked up in your league yet and you need a winger, he could play left and right wing, get him now, because I don't think he's going to be, I don't know if this guy's going to be around once we're done with Thanksgiving leftovers if you don't act soon.
No, he is. Listen, as a former Montreal Canadian, I was sad when he left because he's the type of player that you want to have around. Now, I'm not sad in the return that Montreal got. Noah Dobson's been elite, but Emil Heineman was on that 4th line of Montreal, and he was, stirring the drink, and he was, making useful. Obviously, the shooting percentage is going to come down. His shooting percentage is through the roof. So gravity will do its work, but he can find the back of the net. The Islanders are tolerable to watch. They can score some goals. If they figure out their goaltending, this team could be something. So it just gives me the old vibes of a Turi Lehkonen. Like, even when he left, like, you didn't want him to leave. And I'm happy to see him having success somewhere else and getting that top 6 minutes that he deserves, because he's just a good guy overall. But speaking of injuries, if you're in Utah, do not let him walk on a sidewalk. Do not let him stay anywhere near a street. For those of you who have no idea, he hurt himself last season because he got into he was hit by a Utah driver. One of the games that Montreal was in Utah, he had an incident with a car when he was a pedestrian. So please stay safe in the state of Utah. I also found out Utah, one of the worst states when it comes to car accidents. So the more you know.
Yeah.
There you go. Guess insurance premiums go up there for sure.
Could Lance Goodthrust work the waiver wire any more possible?
I had a little note in my rundown that he beat me to him. I got him in a few other leagues, Heineman, not our league.
Every time I try to look for someone, Lance Goodthrust got him. He's working the waiver wire like crazy, man.
Doing his homework. Good for him.
Yeah, maybe he's watching a lot more of this show than we think.
Now, Heineman is, not on the penalty kill yet, but that is an interesting comparable with Lehkonen. Now, my defenseman that I'm recommending is Artem Levshunov with the Blackhawks, 29% ownership, No goals, 10 assists, 20 hits, 16 blocks. He's on the point on the top power play unit. It's not, I know at the beginning of the season, Sam Rinzel was the guy. He's not the guy anymore. This is going to be more of a stash and simmer kind of ad. Like if you've got the room for a defenseman that can be like, the guy that plays on the when there's open spots, but the other 3 guys or the other 4 guys are going to play first. The Blackhawks have gotten back to mediocre status too, and that's the other thing. And that's a big jump from dreadful, which is where they were last year. So if we think that this is kind of what the Blackhawks are going to be a competitive team night in, night out, even if they win the playoffs, but they're in a lot. They're going to produce. Bedard's clearly bounced back. He's going to get some, coattail riding points on the power play with Bedard there. He's getting 16 minutes of time of ice per game. I think as a depth blue liner, could do worse. I know Philip Hronek was 44% on ownership. I didn't want to cheat, but if he's still available, go get him as well. Because we all know how much I love Hronek. So
we do, yeah.
True. This is true. We know.
Now, Ed, it's your turn for your the homework you've brought to the table today.
Yeah, I'm going with a guy that I had. He got hot. I picked him up, and I apologize for everyone who had him during the time I had him because he was not hot then, and now he's hot again. Dmitry Voronkov from the Columbus Blue Jackets, left winger, 44% ownership right now. Last week he had 2 goals, 1 assist, 2 power play points. So if you're in these leagues that have multiple categories, that's perfect. And another big thing for him is hits. He's got 5 hits last week, and overall throughout the season, 39 hits. He's got 45 shots on goal, 8 goals, 8 assists. That's pretty big for me. So that's a guy that I keep on watching to see. Maybe Lance will pick him up next week or something, but we'll see. I like Dmitry.
I have him in a league I'm rebuilding in. He's in that Columbus top 6. He's a little bit of hot and cold, but when he runs hot, he's scalding hot. So I like that one, sure. And yeah, 44% ownership.
Defense, I am putting in a guy that I've been watching all season long, and that's Nikita Zadorov from the Boston Bruins. He's 43% owned, and I'm using more for the Banger League, right? He's already got 73 hits this season. You're not going to get a lot of points from him. Right? He's got 1 goal. He's got 5 assists. But if you are, if your categories are tight, you're tight on hits, tight on blocks, this is a guy that could help you. If you have that free spot, if you leave one of those spots open and you need a game here, there, and you need some hits, this is a guy that hits. He's got blocks. That's
plays on
someone.
the top pairing.
Plays on the top pairing. That's someone. And if he scores a goal and gets an assist, extra. Right? Extra points. But Nikita Zadorov is my defenseman.
Those are good. Those are good options.
What I like about Zadorov is he's one of those guys where at the beginning of the season, like, all right, I'm going to pick him up for hits because I need a few more on a Saturday and a Sunday, and then you drop him. And then you do it. And then the next thing you know, after a couple of times, it's like, he's just going to stay. He's just going to stick around. I mean, unless hits is a category you're punting on, I'm never against having just one defenseman on a team. Their job is to go out there and get those hits and blocks, and that's all right if you don't do anything else. Chris, your turn now. One of the guys you have on here, I was going to try and get, and then I found out Chris Wassel had him, so I couldn't do it.
Yes. Before we get to that, I'm going to stick with the Boston Bruins here. I'm going to go with another one, a little bit lower ownership, right? Only 8%. That's Hampus Lindholm. So Charlie McAvoy's out of the lineup. Somebody's got to step up to that top unit. Looks like Lindholm's going to be the guy. He had 2 assists in Anaheim. He's not going to get a ton of shots. He can block them though. So if you're in a league where you need some block shots, Hampus Lindholm can help you. He's going to get the opportunity. In fantasy hockey, it's about opportunity. Who's going to get a chance to maximize the value that you're going to get? And Lindholm seems to be the first target. They don't have a ton of offensive guys on the back end to start with, Boston. And with McAvoy, listen, a puck to the face stings. Ooh. And he did go into surgery. The one thing, though, is it's all about swelling, right? So how's the swelling going to be? How's he going to feel? He's no Zdeno Chara. So this could be a minute. So Lindholm is in your lineup for at least a couple weeks. See how he does. If it doesn't work out, listen, no harm, no foul. You move on. I was told a forward, but I just do things differently. I went with Jesper Wallstedt. of the Minnesota Wild. If you have no idea who he is, you are already behind the train. Yes, our good friend Chris Wassel already has him, so can't pick him up in this league. But
I got to interrupt for a minute. I was ready to drop Saros for him and just take the Wild goalie combo and have that. That's where Saros is for me. But then I saw Chris Adam. But continue.
It's listen, it's exactly it. He's 39% owned in Yahoo leagues. That has got up from 24% in less than 24 hours. So this train is leaving the station. If you need a goalie, this is where we go, right? So not you, Lance, because I know you have goalie issues, but not in this league. And somewhere else, go ahead, grab one. I picked him up in a couple of spots where I could, even if this is just a summer fling for Wallstead, and he's going to come back down to earth because the numbers are just out of this world. If anything, he's going to give Philip Gustafsson a run for his money. And I was somebody who was high on Philip Gustafsson. I seem to be high on goalies, and then they absolutely shit the bed. So this is just how it goes. If Wallstead ends up being a pumpkin after midnight, listen, it's my fault. There's no two-way
Chris
around.
of Death.
Yeah.
Chris of Death. I don't think it's a summer fling. I think there might be it's a summer fling, but you know what? School starts up again, and you're still, hey, you want to hang out next weekend? I think this might become more of a time. This might become more of a closer to a 50-50 split is what I think happens in Minnesota here.
I hope so. But also this could just be hey, we're both going to different colleges. Let's see if we can make this work. And hopefully yes. But if it doesn't, you're I get it. I understand. But this has been quite a run here for Wallstead. He is giving Minnesota every opportunity. He had to face Carolina yesterday, and Carolina averages the most shots on goal on the road, and he got peppered.
He earned his paycheck the last half of the third period last night.
The easiest money I made yesterday was betting the over saves for Wallstead. It was 27.5, and some people were worried. They're like, that's a really high number. And I'm like, well, he's going to see some rubber. And lo and behold, he saw rubber. He saw a lot of it. He helped me buy my coffee today with an Egg McMuffin. I got 2 hash browns because Jesper Wallstead did his part. So
and hash browns.
If he's sitting on your waiver wire, by all means, please don't wait.
Got Glenn, a new guy here that we haven't seen before. Glenn Picola, 4374. Some good prospects in Nifty under 50. Appreciate that feedback. We got Frank, Ant's brother, checking in. Hey guys, just got home to watch my favorite podcast. Wow, favorite podcast. So more than Subway to Shea. That might be a Thanksgiving deal that we're going to have to discuss. I have to get an update on that. Hope everyone's doing well. Same to you, Frank. And before we get to our picks for tonight, Marty Brown Vaughn, 8082. I just traded Natchez for Matthews, win or loss. I think whether that's a dynasty league or a redraft league, I understand Matthews is hurt, but when he plays, he's going to produce. If it's a dynasty league, great move. And I think if even a redraft league, and listen, I'm not saying Natchez is going to produce. It's not like you're going to be like, ha ha, he got Natchez. Natchez is going to do his thing next to Nate McKinnon. But you took advantage. You did the buy low, sell high thing, and it worked for you.
Yeah, I agree with in Dynasty, I think it's an absolute win. A keeper league, you get Matthews and you sell high on Natchez right now. So I got nothing wrong with that.
I would have not done that.
Wow. Okay. That
unless you absolutely need a centerman, right? Maybe that is it. Maybe you have a log jam at the wing. Even if Natchez is riding McKinnon's coattail, he's riding the player with the most points on a team that is averaging over 4 goals a game.
Tops in the league.
And does not lose at home. I get playing in elevation is tough, but it doesn't matter who goes into Colorado. They don't make it out alive, or they don't make it out with a win very often in regulation. So, I mean, yes, you sold high on Natchez, but if
on Matthews,
man,
as low as he's going to go,
Matthews doesn't look right. The Leafs in general don't look right. I don't think Craig Berube is the coach for that team. The players that they have and the style that they play, I don't want Matthews going out there blocking shots and all that. I want him to go out there and shoot the puck 90 times at the net. But yeah,
We do have some clarification in the chat. Let me rephrase: favorite hockey podcast. So yeah. So there won't be any problems at Thanksgiving dinner, thankfully. But it is 5:35 Eastern, 2:35 Pacific. So that means it's time to get last good look at the board. A 12-game slate tonight. There we go, folks. It's 12-game slate. Glenn's going to go back and check out the Jack Hughes commentary. We talk a little JT Miller and Matthew Schaefer there. I wasn't trying to do all three New York teams in that opening segment, but we did. Sorry, Sabres, who got embarrassed by Calgary.
The who? Relegate the Sabres. ECHL immediately.
But yes, Thursday games, 12-game slate tonight does not include the Sabres. They got the night off. We're going to go through all the games here and give you our recommendations or leans or actual official plays for tonight's lineup. So let's get the scroll on the bottom going there. First, and last week, Ant was not here. Chris bounced back with a big 5-1 week. I went 6-2. Ant was not having dental procedures done. Whatever it was. We know you were at the dentist. It's fine.
Did you run into Charlie McAvoy?
Yes.
I did not see him.
Oh, no, wait. No, sorry. McAvoy had his teeth pulled. I'm assuming, well, actually, they were on the ice at the Bell Center, but I'm guessing, no, that would have been after. My bad. But we did, Adam. We went on a little run there. So you know, if you tailed us, you made a little bit of bread.
A little bit. Definitely enough to put some butter on it for sure. First
you
up,
have money left over in case you go to the dentist. You could cover the copay.
The first of the 7 o'clock Eastern puck drops is going to feature the Blue Jackets and the Maple Leafs. Jet Greaves starting for the Blue Jackets. Joseph Wall going for the Toronto Maple Leafs there. You're looking to make a wager on any sides there. The Maple Leafs minus 105. Blue Jackets slight road favorites due to how banged up Toronto is, minus 115. Total is 6.5. William Nylander is on an 8-game point streak, 6 goals, 6 assists. So as bad as things are in Toronto, they are not his fault. I'm looking at the under here. With Joseph Wall, under 6.5, minus 112. Wall looks all right. He's 1-1, 910 save percentage, 274 goals against, limited amount of work. Reeves is allowing 2.8 goals per start over his last 5. He's been mostly sharp in that stretch, and that, to me, negates Toronto being one of the top scoring teams in the league. Also, they're banged up right now, so they don't have a lot of their punch. Blue Jackets ranked 21st in goals per game. So I like the under in this one. I think we're going to get a competitive, close game here. I don't have a lean either way, but I think it'll be a tight, low-scoring affair.
I just for context, the Leafs opened, I think, was like minus 150. So I think we are safe to say that not a lot of people are backing the Leafs. I am not one of those people. They played St. Louis, and St. Louis almost came out of that game. The Leafs are in absolute shambles, and I am not crying for the Leafs. Their window looks to be closed, and that makes me happy. That makes me happy because now we no longer talk about the core four. Now we just watch them reminisce about the good old days and pick up their tears. I'm taking the Blue Jackets straight up. Jet Greaves has been really, really good. He seems to have taken over the starting job, which is what I had hoped would happen right out of the gate. Right? Good things come to those who wait. If you waited on Jet Greaves and you waited out while they figured out that Elvis Merzlikins is not the guy, then you're going to be rewarded. The Maple Leafs just don't have the offense. They don't have the depth. Their defense is miserable. Joseph Wall played good, but I still think he's trying to get into it. So I will take the Blue Jackets money line. This game might be close just because of how low scoring it is. But I'm not trusting the Leafs. Ain't no way.
I'm staying away from this one.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And Tony Rivers is going to stay away from that total here. Next up on the docket, also in the 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop window, Devils at the Panthers. Brad Marchand's on an 8-game point streak. The Devils are 4-2-1 in their last 7 against the Panthers. Looking at the starting goalies tonight, Jake Allen versus Sergei Bobrovsky. On the money line here, the Devils are plus 124, Florida minus 148 favorites at home. Total 5.5. When I was looking at the matchups for tonight, first thing that jumped out at me was like the Devils tend to play the Panthers close. They tend to have a decent time against them. Florida is good at home. This is going to be one of those times I'm going to screw it. Plus 330 for the game to go to overtime. I'm throwing that out there. Once in a while, why not? Right? It's just like that. I got that vibe right out of the gate. Like, okay, this might go OT. So you know what? Screw it. Just at plus 330, it's worth a tiny. Why not?
I just want nothing to do with this game. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to believe maybe goals will be scored, but I also don't think any team will score many. Both teams are pretty good at suppressing shots as well. They don't give up a ton. I'm trying to trust the Devils, but like, I don't know, man. The voodoo around that team is not good. I don't want to get behind the Panthers money line. It's a little bit too juiced for me. So I'm just going to sit back and not watch this game.
I'm going to take the under here. The under 5.5 goals.
Okay.
Jake Allen, he's been really good this season. I know Sergei Bobrovsky has not really 883 save percentage, but as we talked about earlier, Jack Hughes, not in the lineup. He's out. He's a huge part of the punch that this offense needs. And I think it's a whole lot tougher when he's not a part of the mix for this team to score as many goals. So I will leave it at the under 5.5.
All right, so there we go. In this game, I'm just throwing poop at the wall and for overtime, but Ant likes the under. Chris is staying away.
It could go to OT under goals.
We got an under pick here for Glenn on that one. He's I get the vibes. He's a Devils fan based on the Jack Hughes comment earlier and stuff like that. So he's liking the under as well. Blues Flyers. St. Louis is a league worst 3.8 goals allowed per game. Philly 4-0-1 in their last 5 against the Blues. Looking at the goaltending matchup tonight, Dan Vladar is going to roam the crease for the Flyers. Joel Hofer for the Blues. If you're looking to make a bet on this one, Blues plus 105 on the money line, Flyers minus 125, total 5.5. I'm going to go with the Flyers money line here. I mean, St. Louis, they don't really score. They're 2.75 goals per game. Flyers aren't necessarily an offensive juggernaut themselves. They're 4th worst in goals scored per game, but they play a lot of tight games. They do rank 10th in goals allowed. So I think when you have a team that gives up a lot of goals and then you have another team that actually does okay in suppressing them, I don't know. Like, to me, that with the way the Blues have been playing this year, the Flyers have been a mediocre team where the Blues are just pitiful. So at home, the Blues almost beat Toronto the other night, like Chris mentioned. I don't think they're going to play that well 2 games in a row. I would also, I kind of lean under here, but no, just because any game that Hofer's playing or the Blues in general right now, I can't trust that. That'd be more of a gut thing. But Flyers money line minus 125, absolutely.
Joel Hofer is committing wage theft against his employer by collecting a paycheck and being that bad. He is so bad. And yet here he goes again. I don't care if the Flyers can't score. Everybody scores against Joel Hofer. That's the motto here. So I will also take the Flyers money line. The Blues could barely get past a Toronto team that was just loaded with elite AHL players. Like, they couldn't get it done. They got better as the game went on. But Toronto was just hamming them in. This Blues team is horrendous. So Flyers,
what happened in the offseason? You almost beat Winnipeg in the first round, and now
I don't know, man. They were frauds. That's it. Sometimes teams have this surge and they think they're good, right? Listen, a broken clock is right twice a day. Maybe the Blues thought they were good come April. One problem, they're not making it to April. So there we go.
When you go on the miracle runs, you better make sure you capitalize on it in the playoffs. They almost did. They fell within, a goal short of making it into the next round. And after that, I feel like the air just flew away from the Blues. Look, I cannot in good conscience take the total on this, so I'm staying away from this game.
Tony Rivers, light start tonight. Plenty of games to go, though. We got the Islanders at the Red Wings still in the 7:00 puck drops. Again, I think there's only one staggered start tonight, so not really thrilled about that. Goaltending matchup is Ilya Sorokin versus John Gibson. Lucas Raymond's on a 5-game point streak. Alexander Romanov placed on IR earlier today after that Mikko Rantanen hit. Isles have won 6 of 7 on the road here. Looking on the money line, the Islanders are plus 105, the Red Wings minus 125. Your total is 6.5. Isles have won 5 of the last 6. They smacked Detroit around the last time they played each other. Ilya Sorokin, 2.15 goals against, 927 save percentage in the 5 November games he's played, which he's gone 3-1-1. Islanders also look pretty confident when they're playing right now. Like they just have that mojo and vibe about them. I'm going to take, plus 110 with the way Sorokin's playing. Let's go.
Yeah. Everything you just said. That's just as simple as that. Listen, if the Islanders get good goaltending, their offense is decent. Bo Horvat's finding the back of the net. Barzal's playing well. Schaefer Daddy's got his mojo going. I mean, Emil Heineman is scoring goals. There's a lot of good things happening in Long Island. No, they don't even play on Long Island anymore.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
they're Long Island. They're right on like that Nassau Queens kind of border area. But yeah,
I clearly do not know the. Okay, so
right
they are
Belmont Racetrack, right over there.
Okay, so there at least something in New York is going right, and it's the New York Islanders, as we all expected. So there you go.
You said that Sorokin was going for the Islanders. Who again was going for the Red Wings?
John Gibson.
Yeah,
that's it. You were probably thinking under with Sorokin, but then you hear Gibson, you're like, I don't know.
Listen, we all have the same reaction when we find out John Gibson's playing hockey for the Rangers. That's the exact response.
Yeah, I feel like I have to take
331 goals against, 875 save percentage for Gibson.
I will take the over on this.
Over
total goals. Over 6.5.
6.5 there. Get that plus money over at DraftKings right now if you want it, plus 110. So over 6.5 there. Now we switch to the Capitals and Canadiens. Final of the 7:00 Eastern puck drops. Ovechkin's on a 3-game goal streak. Montreal is on a 4-game winless streak, 0-3-1. Looking at the goaltending matchup tonight, Samuel Montembeault confirmed for the Canadiens. We don't have a goal yet for the Capitals, but it looks like it'll be probably Charlie Lindgren based on the fact that Thompson played last night. I'm staying away here. I got no read either way. This is a stay away spot for me right here.
I'm going to take one out of your book here, Adam. We're going to go with the overtime. No team in the NHL plays more overtime games than the Montreal Canadiens. If you want them to win in 60 minutes, that just doesn't exist. The gap between them winning and then their 60-minute money line is massive because everybody knows they're going to go to overtime. They don't have a lot of regulation wins. It's a big struggle here. I can't trust the Canadiens, even though it's on home ice, even though the Capitals are playing back-to-back, because Samuel Montembeault is starting, and that has been a process. He's just not good. So I have a feeling this is going to be one of those tight games, a Charlie Lindgren revenge game. Also, if you buy into that narrative, it's probably going to be close. It's probably going to be under, but I also could see this being a high-scoring affair that finishes like 6-5 in overtime with like an OV bomb from his office, which would suck. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go with overtime. That's it. Figure it out.
Pressure's on Ant to pick an overtime game the rest of the way now. If we've each given one, the rest of the slate, you got to find one.
I'm giving you over 6.5 goals. That's what I'm going to give you.
All right.
I am very confident for this game. Look, both of these goalies have under 900 save percentage. The goals are going to be flying tonight.
So Ant's expecting a lot of red lights on at the old Bell Center tonight in Montreal. So there we go. So now we are out of the 7:00 Eastern window. We are at the 7:30 puck drop here. The Hulu, I guess, exclusive, so they can have that staggered start time. Nikita Kucherov has got 21 points in his last 10 versus Edmonton. Nick Paul activated from IR for the Lightning, but Victor Hedman heading to the IR. So I don't know if that's the trade you'd want to make. I mean, Nick Paul's nice, but he's not Victor Hedman. Here, looking at the goalie matchup for tonight, it's Andrei Vasilevsky going. It'll probably be Calvin Pickard, I would assume, tonight for the Islanders. Not confirmed, at least according to Daily Faceoff. Looking on the money line here for this game, the Oilers plus 142, the Lightning minus 170, home favorites, total 6.5. I like Ant thinks goals are going to be flying up in Montreal tonight. I think we're going to get a lot of goals here in Tampa tonight. Edmonton allows 3.64 goals per game. We'll politely say untrustworthy goaltending. They're on a back-to-back, so sometimes I feel like that makes you a little more susceptible to give some stuff up. Edmonton themselves have scored 4 or more goals in 3 of their last 4 games. I'm not saying Vasilevsky's going to play bad by any means, but I don't think Tampa's going to have any trouble scoring. And with how potent the Oilers have been, I think they could get 2 behind Vasilevsky there. So I like the over here tonight, Oilers Lightning.
Yeah, I'm going straight there as well. Imagine trusting Calvin Pickard in 2025. He is just as bad as Joel Hofer. So I don't know why. I will not swallow minus 170 though on the Lightning. That is quite a little
rich.
Heavy.
A little heavy for a team that just lost to Victor Hedman.
That's way too heavy. I mean, they're banged up, the Lightning. But again, this number probably has to do with how bad the Oilers are in general. They don't get good goaltending. Their defense is not good. And I keep hearing delusional Oiler fans tell me that they're good. But I mean, they must be wearing the Evan Bouchard glasses because he's not good defensively either. Just a lot of goals here. A lot of goal opportunities, some high danger scoring chances. I think they find the back of the net. Vasilevsky has not been elite this season. He's beatable. If Connor McDavid and Draisaitl get their looks, they should be able to get a couple by him as well.
Make it 3 in a row for the fellas.
Come
on.
That's what we're waiting for.
Over 6.5. Let's go, boys.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Let's go.
I think the last time I think we're 1-1 on trifecta. The 3 of us were all exactly on the same pick. So we'll see if we get above or below 500 on that tonight. So that wraps up the first half of the slate. 6 games to go. Now we head to Chicago where the Kraken are taking on the Blackhawks here. Blackhawks have a 6-game point streak. Starting goalies for tonight, it looks like it's going to be Spencer Knight. Nothing confirmed yet for Seattle. Probably Joey Daccord. Looking on the if you're looking to make a wager here, Blackhawks slight home favorites minus 115, Kraken minus 105. Totals 5.5 here. This is another stay away spot for me. I can make an argument both ways. I can make an argument. I mean, maybe I'd lean under here, but I've got nothing on this one.
What are you talking about? This is all Chicago, man. They're cooking. Man, Connor Bedard and his ridiculous release against Seattle. Seattle doesn't generate any offense in general. And then they go on the road and they do even less. This is a mediocre team. They're full of third liners. Their whole lineup is just third liners. Even if Joey Daccord plays, it's probably going to be a low scoring game. Spencer Knight has been as advertised and better. He looks like a goalie who is going to play 60 plus games for the Chicago Blackhawks, a true starter. Chicago's also 5-2-2 on home ice, so they know how to get the job done at United. Only minus 120. Like, what? Like, are we giving Seattle any credit for, I don't know, existing?
I'm not going to say puck line, but would you consider regulation? Maybe get a little bit of better.
Nah, it's going to be too close. I mean, I like Chicago. Yes, they could score, but I think if Joey Daccord plays, that probably keeps this game closer than it needs to be. It could end up being close. So I don't want to chase the plus money on something that is too tight. Because maybe Seattle goes off. I don't know. Maybe they listened. They took it personally and they said, all right, well, now we'll show him. But I'm just going to take straight up Blackhawks here. However you want to finish it, just finish it.
I completely agree on Spencer Knight, by the way. He's the real deal.
It's a dog.
Just like Adam, that Blues Flyers game, I got to stay away from this one.
Okay.
All right.
Backing up the truck a little bit.
Blackhawks money line and the 2 stayaways here for Ant and myself in this one. Now we get to the 9:00 puck drops, and that would be the Golden Knights and the Mammoth at 9:00 Eastern. We got one more of those as well. Rangers Avalanche will come up after that. Mammoth have lost 3 straight in overtime, so we're talking about betting teams to go to overtime. And this might be your spot. Jack Eichel on a 9-game goal drought here, so I don't like to see that at all. Karel Vejmelka going for the Mammoth. Nobody confirmed yet for the Golden Knights, so we'll just assume it's Akira Schmid. Again, this is kind of a stay away spot for me. 3 in a row. I kind of lean under here, but Yeah, I think this is going to be a tight matchup either way, but I'm staying away.
Yeah, the Mammoth can't score on the power play, so they're struggling. The wheels are turning a little bit here. The Golden Knights, I don't know what to make of this team. Are you good? Are you bad? Can you pick one so I can either bet with you or against you? I just want to know where you guys are. They refuse to tell me. The Golden Knights and I have a situationship. We have no idea what's going on. So I just going to sit back and let this game take its course.
It's wild how open the Pacific Division is, by the way.
Crazy.
And me and Chris sitting back eating some popcorn for this one. No touching.
Right.
No touching this game.
So sorry if anybody wanted any leans on this one or any picks.
Yeah.
Like I said, I lean under, but no official pick on this one. But this could be an enjoyable watch. States neighbor each other, so maybe a budding rivalry here between Utah and Nevada. The other 9:00 Eastern puck drop. My Rangers are in Colorado. The Rangers are 9-2-1 on the road this season. Somehow, some way, the Avalanche have won 6 in a row. They are 20 for 23 on the penalty kill during that 6-game stretch. Goaltending matchup tonight is going to be Scott Wedgwood versus Igor Shesterkin. If you're looking for make a play here on the money line, the Rangers are plus 164. The Avalanche minus 198. Total for that one 6.5. I failed to give you those details earlier for the Mammoth and Golden Knights game. Utah's minus 105. Vegas slight road favorite minus 115. Total 5.5 there. I'm picking the Rangers on the money line at plus 170. It makes no sense. They have no business beating a team like Colorado, who's both the best goals for and goals given up average per game team in the league. They sleptwalked through that first half of the game against Vegas the other night where they had 6 shots on goal in the first 30 minutes. I think they come out swinging tonight. I think, a little bit of, the stuff that JT Miller's been taking, maybe they come out with a little bit of piss in there, a little. I'm grasping at straws. I recognize that.
Adam holding on to that last glimmer of hope.
The Rangers are the third stingiest team in goals allowed. I'm like, oh, they got that going for them. And then you go and look like, oh, the Avalanche are the stingiest team. So again, it makes no sense, and nothing the Rangers do makes sense this year. So wouldn't it make sense in that regard for them to beat the Avalanche tonight?
Adam's showing more heart and love for his Rangers than his team captain right now. It's so hard to read this Rangers team because they're so good on the road, but so bad at home. They'll have spurts where they'll score, a lot of goals, and most of the time they're not scoring. You're going up against Colorado. This is another game that I feel like I have to stay away from because you're trying to sell me on the Rangers, Adam, and I'm trying to buy into them coming out strong, and if they win, it's probably going to be the over on the goals, but I'm a little nervous to take this one, so I think I'm going to stay away. I
am not drinking that Rangers Kool-Aid. That is for sure.
No, I'm totally Costanzing.
You are not going into Colorado and expecting to come out of there with anything. Listen, I get that. I get the Rangers have been good on the road. I get that. But Colorado just they don't mess around. They don't mess around. And it's like you have to pick one, Colorado. Do you want to be elite defensively or do you want to be elite offensively? Because right now you got everything. I'm actually going to go with the under here. Igor's going to get the start. Igor's not the problem. The Rangers are the problem. The rest of that squad is a problem. Scott Wedgwood's getting the start. Scott Wedgwood seems to be the guy who Jared Bednar is going to lean on here a little bit. He has earned it. That's for sure. My Mackenzie Blackwood shares would like to have a word with him, though. But listen, this is a battle of two goalies that are very, very good. And the same thing, if you look, Vegas thinks this game is going to be close because the money line is minus 2 whatever. But if you look at Colorado to cover the puck line, all of a sudden you're approaching, plus money
for that. Yeah.
So Vegas doesn't think this is going to be a blowout, and they think it's going to be tight. And I don't think it's going to be a 6-5 tight. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. The Rangers don't score, so it doesn't matter. This is now a question of, will the Colorado Avalanche go out there and pound them 7-0? I hope not. I need you tonight, Igor, to do what you've been doing all year. We just stand on your head and then be disappointed after 60 minutes that your captain just doesn't care and the rest of that team can't generate offense.
I mean,
like a 5-0 Rangers loss would make me happy. Everybody wins.
Oh, they're not going to make me happy. Let's not say everybody.
That doesn't matter. That the majority of us will be happy.
Understood. Again, I know picking them makes no sense, and that's why I'm doing it, because they just can't. Anyway, get to the 10 o'clock Eastern puck drops. Let's start with the stars at the Canucks. Jason Robertson, 4-game goal streak. Elias Pettersson, 4-game point streak, but he's the problem. Looking at the money line, Vancouver plus 120, underdogs at home. Dallas 140, minus 142 on the road. Total is 6.5. Between the pipes tonight for these two is Jake Ottinger and Kevin Lankinen. I'm going to go Canucks money line lean here. They've won 2 straight against Dallas. Both goalies have been inconsistent as of late. And they gave up 8 to Florida the other night, so I think we'll buckle down tonight. They've lost 4 of their last 5, but they've been close in a lot of those, and I think this is just one of those matchups where Vancouver knows how to play Dallas. So I'll lean Canucks here, but only because Jake Ottinger, recently not playing his best. He's 277 goals against, 898 save percentage, and 8-4-2 record, which is not bad, but that's not what we're expecting out of Jake Ottinger. So I'll take a chance here with the Canucks at home.
Yeah, he played his best when I had to go up against him in fantasy. I think he had 2 shutouts in that week.
Listen, I'm not trusting the Canucks, so let's not get it twisted here. Dallas has won 4 of their last 5 games. Jason Robertson is red hot. He is cooking with gas. Every time he shoots the puck, there's a good chance it finds the back of the net. Dallas's power play is operating at 32%. The Canucks penalty kill is at 67. For all the good things we can say about the Canucks, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games. So Dallas only being minus 140 just doesn't seem right. Dallas should be heavy favorites in this game, even if they're on the road. I understand this isn't the ideal matchup, but let's not get it twisted. The Vancouver Canucks still don't have a ton of offense. And if they get into penalty trouble, which they've already, they've taken 209, they have 209 penalty minutes here, so they know that. It's like they've given up 23 power play goals already. I think this ends up becoming a lopsided affair if Dallas starts to put the pedal to the metal here. If
you take them in regulation plus 105.
You probably could, yeah. You probably could. You could probably take them in regulation. I don't see this game going to overtime. I know the Canucks have lost 2 in overtime. That's fine. They gave up 5 goals to Colorado, 5 goals to Winnipeg. They gave up 4 to Carolina. Then they got absolutely slaughtered
by Florida.
Florida, so they've been giving up a lot of goals here. I don't know where their defensive game structure is going to come from. It's not coming tonight. So yes, you have convinced me. I will take Dallas in regulation. That is some disrespect here.
I am going to take the over 6.5 goals here. The Canucks in their last 10 games, total goals have been 7 or more in every single game. And then one of them was 13. I think that was their last game against the Panthers. Yeah. 8-5. So I'm going to take the over here. I think scoring is still going to be at a premium, especially with the Stars. So, yeah, I'll take the over 6.5 for this Stars and Canucks.
2 more games to go here before we say farewell for this edition of Total Hockey Now here on the Total Hockey Now YouTube channel. Kings at Sharks, 10 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Kings have won 6 of 7 on the road. Macklin Celebrini's 30 points are good for 3rd in the NHL. Drew Doughty placed on the IR earlier today, as Chris mentioned when we were talking about Matthew Schaefer and Team Canada. Anton Forsberg versus Yaroslav Askarov tonight. I was thinking under 5.5 until I saw Forsberg was starting. I know he's coming off a 1-0 shutout win over the Senators on Saturday, but that's not the real Anton Forsberg. Let's be real here. I kind of want to lean Sharks money line against Forsberg, but I like the under until I saw his Forsberg. But now that it's him, I'm just staying away from this game entirely. This will be what I flip back and forth to during the Ranger Avalanche game.
Yeah, I can't do it. I mean, San Jose just doesn't average enough shots. They don't take enough. They don't take enough shots, but they're scoring a decent amount of goals. So they're lucky more than anything. Maybe not luck. Maybe it's just Macklin Celebrini is an absolute stud, and he's just finding the back of the net with consistency. Because imagine thinking you can slow him down. But I can't take the under because I can't do that, right? Can't trust Forsberg, not in this economy. So, like you, I'll probably fall asleep to this game.
We all will. We all will.
Is that
not touching it?
There we
No,
go. Well, I mean,
no,
I
that's
have
not-
a 9:00 hockey game in my Thursday night league, so I won't be falling asleep to this one. I'll probably
Okay.
I'll probably forget the final score when my game's over. But we'll see how I did on picks today. One last pick to go here. We got 2 games to go. It's been a long season for my Thursday night hockey team. We're playing out the string. We'll see how that goes tonight, though. We got a rivalry game coming up the Thursday after Thanksgiving, though, so that'll be fun. Senators at Ducks, final game on the evening. So over the 10 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Sens are beginning a 7-game road trip. Ducks have a 5-game home winning streak. Goaltending matchup for tonight is going to be Linus Ullmark. And we assume Peter Mrazek, since Lucas Dostal went last night against the Bruins. If you're looking to make a bet on this one either way, looking on the money line here, the Senators minus 130 road favorites against the Ducks at home plus 110. I'm sorry. Is Peter Mrazek that much worse than Linus Ullmark? I mean, I know Ullmark's been playing a lot better over his last, we'll say 5 starts. And I know Anaheim's on a back-to-back. But to be home dogs to the Senators, this is not the Avalanche. It's not the Hurricanes. It's Ottawa. So I don't, for Anaheim to be playing as well as they are and to not be favored at home against a team like the Senators, who we'll say are mediocre. And like I said, I know Ullmark's been playing better. Maybe this is a sucker bet. Maybe this is one of those where Vegas is just enticing you to take the Ducks as home underdogs. But I'll take that bait, please.
Listen, we're going down with the ship together. Ain't no way we're going to do the Ducks disrespect like that. I get Peter Mrazek isn't fantastic, but Jesus, man, he's not Linus Ullmark, who is also not
better. But yeah, it's not like we're going to Merryline.
Listen, Ullmark was a 0 out of 10. So yes, he is better. You're right. He is stopping more pucks than he should. He still has an 874 save percentage. His goal saved above expected is toilet water. The Ducks are 7-1 at home. Like, what are we doing? I get it. I get it's a back-to-back, but you're giving me plus money on a team that has lost 1 game at home and they have to take on the Senators. Okay. You know what I mean? I'll do it. I'll get into the white van that says candy. Sure.
Yeah, I'm already in there. I'm already
open the door. I won't even ask. I'm in. Sure. Go ahead.
I got my bag of Skittles ready to go.
Try to stop me. No, Vegas. I'm good. I'm going to bite. I think maybe this is one that, listen, if Ottawa wins, man, Vegas knows. They know something I don't know. And I need to know those people that know. But maybe they're wrong.
I mean, minus 130 road favorites. Not even like slight minus 115, minus 105. Like that's insane to me.
That's wild.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Ducks here to win this game, but I'm still not jumping in the. I'm not jumping in the car.
So I'm listening. Let our
listening.
families know that we got taken.
Yeah.
If we go missing, you know what happened. They got into the truck that said Anaheim Ducks money line.
I'm still getting home. I'm still listening to my parents. Not gonna get into that truck. Not gonna bet anything on this game. But I wish you guys the best, and I hope you're just getting candy, and that's all.
It's a nice shade of orange. It was shiny. That's also why we got in the van too. Oh,
I didn't even ask. I just jumped right in. I saw Anaheim Ducks money line at plus money. Yeah, sign me up. I'm in.
They were playing the Mighty Ducks trilogy on one of those like.
You need my social insurance.
Like,
what else do you need? You just take whatever you want. Load it up.
They had Baby Ruth bars, which I love. Those are one of my favorite candy bars. I mean, it's what's that coffee one I like?
Coffee Crisp.
Yeah, it's not one of those. Maybe if I got abducted by like a Canucks fan, they would be in there. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Getting a Canadian candy van. There we go. We ran the board for you tonight. We gave you picks from how many of the 12 games did we not? One of us not give you 1, 2. Only 2 games were just complete stay away spots. Not bad. So from 10 of the 12 games, you got at least 1 pick for free. That's what we do on Thursdays here at 5:35 Eastern is when we begin the picks, but we do plenty of fantasy and futures and news conversation before that. So please subscribe, all that good stuff. We're here for you every Thursday, except next Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, but that's okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to come at you on Tuesday that week. Only 1 game that night, Stars Oilers, but then it's a 15-game slate on Wednesday.
Yeah,
So-
you're gonna be able to run the table a day before. You're gonna be able to listen in to the show, go back, rewatch, and get your information to get you ready for the next day's worth of 15 game slate.
All day
And-
hockey too.
And maybe we'll do the teams in the playoffs on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving deal. Maybe we'll each pick a team that's in, that's not going to be in, and a team that's out. I mean, depending on what the standings look like, that might actually be not too hard. But it's also been a while. Like we talked about this year, the Pacific Division is wide open. The Metropolitan Division after the top 2 spots. Now with the Hughes injury, maybe after the top spot, wide open. Atlantic Division, wide open. Central Division, we kind of know the top 3 teams, but Utah can maybe play their way into that. Minnesota, who knows? So we'll see how it goes. But recent episode of the Slapshot podcast came out this week. What did we cover there, Mr. Merez?
We gave out some report cards to the players. That's right. Some of them have exceeded their expectations. Some of them have let us down. We came up with a new nickname for Joe Veleno. But yeah, we gave out some report cards just to the players. I wasn't going to push Marty St. Louis under the bus or the coaching staff. Some players are doing what they're supposed to do and more. Others need to pick up the slack. All right. It was one bad semester. Okay. We can still catch up, but we got to start doing some things, right? We got to change the way we approach this.
Did Dobes set the curve for the class? I'm assuming.
He was not as high as you thought he was. He's not as high. Listen, I mean, I'm not going to give it all away, but he's a kid. He's a kid, and sometimes we're not fully developed yet. Sometimes, listen, it's hard to handle our emotions. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Sometimes the sports psychologists, they work overtime with certain players, and maybe Dobes is one of them.
I've got the NHL Network up on the screen. They just flashed up what the Eastern Conference playoff picture would look like as of today. Who had the Red Wings, Bruins, and Canadiens as your top 3 in the Atlantic heading into American Thanksgiving?
Oh, does that mean it would be Montreal, Boston in the first round?
It would indeed be Montreal.
That would be fun. That would be okay. I would line up for that.
And I think you'd have Detroit, Tampa, so you'd have the Steve Yzerman Bowl there as well.
I think I would need some live streaming from Chris as the game is going on, as he just berates Boston Bruins fans for 7 games.
Listen. Montreal has got past Boston a couple of times. I know they have as well. Boston fans are okay. I went to the Winter Classic once upon a time. I wasn't heckled too much on my way to, Gillette Stadium. Not too much, just a regular amount. Once I understood that cockies and cockies are 2 different things, then I understood. True. They didn't want to know anything about my pants. They were maybe threatening to key my car.
They're not talking about casual dress pants. That's for sure.
Right. Also, America runs on Duncan, I hear, which is terrible. Duncan's is just not good.
What did State of Survival miss? Well, let's recap the show for him. We talked a little Matthew Schaefer. We talked Jack Hughes and JT Miller. We talked our 50 under 50 players that have under 50% ownership in Yahoo leagues that are worth considering picking up. We ran the board for the 12-game slate. We also found out that this is actually Frank's favorite podcast because Ant's going to promote his second favorite podcast, Subway to Shea. What do we got going on there?
Well, we took a little weekend off. I was taking my son to Disney for the first time, so that was a lot of fun. And
nice.
We will be back. Hopefully this Sunday we'll be back to talk. I don't know. There's just like nothing going on right now. I mean, it's a lot of mock trades, which I can't stand. And I just hope to see some movement so we can get on with this offseason. It's been so slow unlike last season, where it was just throughout the whole year with the Soto and Alonso stuff. It's just been really slow right now. So, there's a lot of rumors and stuff going on, but I can't stand that stuff.
I feel like baseball has the worst offseason out of all sports because, with NBA and NHL free agency and
right.
NFL free agency, it's like, okay, those first 2 or 3 days are going to be hot and heavy, and then it tails off. Then there's a mini spike, and then baseball, it could go any direction.
Yeah, and we had it once, that 2022 off season or 2021 into 2022, where there was the lockout, and everyone wanted to sign before the lockout happened, and we got all the big major signings within like 2 or 3 days, kind of rivaled the NHL, NBA thing. But the baseball off season, for as much content as you can get, best time of year, it's also one of the worst because it's just an absolute slog and it's so slow. I actually want to hear from you and Jared on the Trent Grisham taking the qualifying offer. I don't know why the Yankees allowed that to happen, but hey, kudos to Trent Grisham for taking that 22 and I think $500,000 million.
Sure, Jared's going to have some thoughts for that on the next edition of Rip and Reef on the X and YouTube channel there at Rip and Riff. We do a lot of football and hockey while we rip some packs, talk about what's going on in both leagues. And we dabble in some baseball too when it comes to the Yankees. And that certainly blew up some of their budget for potential other needs that, Trent Grisham, wonderful. That's what we wanted. And don't forget, like we mentioned earlier, it's not the next episode of Total Hockey Now. Where did I put that as the topic bar? It's going to be right there. It's going to be Tuesday at 5:00. So there is a random 12:30 Pacific pickup hockey game at the rink I play at that I signed up for a few weeks ago. So I need time to get home, shower, and not stink it up in here to the point where two guys most of the way across the continent can smell me. So that's why we'll do a 2:45. We'll get there's only one game that night. It's Dallas Edmonton. So we'll give a quick breakdown of that. Talk a little of Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving playoff teams, and run the board for the following day, the 15-game slate. But that does it for this edition, Total Hockey Now. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate you whether you're watching us live or whether you're catching us on a replay. But at Fuzzy Chris 91 and at Ant Rivera 86, I am at Fucking Thoughts Adam Bernard. Back at you Tuesday next week for a new edition of Total Hockey Now. On Total Hockey Now YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody.